Vedic period. A new culture flourished and spread across the Ganga-Yamuna plains. This culture came to be known as the Aryan culture. Aryans settled on the banks of rivers Indus, Sindhu, and Saraswati, which is now non-existent. Vedic society. The early Vedic people worshipped forces of nature and personified them as gods and goddesses. Indra, Agni, Varuna, Marit were some of the gods, while Usha, Aditi, Prithvi were some of the goddesses. Some of the solar gods and goddesses referred to in the Rig Veda are Surya, Savitri and Pushau. Varuna is the enforcer as well as an upholder of law and order. He is known as god of moral law. Though Aryan society was patriarchal, women were treated with dignity and honor. The family was the smallest social unit. Several families, Kula, made a village grammar, and several villages formed a vis. A number of villages formed a tribe or jana, which was ruled by a chief called Rajan. His chief function was to protect the tribe from external attack and maintain law and order. He was assisted by the members of two councils called Sabha and Samiti. Barley or voluntary donation was prevalent. Cows were the measure of wealth. Transition from Rig Vedic to later Vedic period. Later Vedic period coincides with the painted grey ware sites. The later Vedic period people were acquainted with four types of pottery: black and red ware, black slipped ware, painted grey ware, and red ware. The Vedic people continued to produce barley, but during later Vedic period rice and wheat became the chief crops. In the later Vedic phase, agriculture became the primary source of livelihood and life became settled and sedentary. In later Vedic times, Rig Vedic tribal assemblies lost importance and royal power increased at the cost. Women were no longer allowed to sit in sabha. The condition of women began deteriorating from the later Vedic period, and they suffered on account of education and social roles which restricted them to be in the houses. The later Vedic period saw the rise of fourfold Varna classification: Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, and the institution of Gotra. The later Vedic time also saw an established ashrama system, or the division of lifespan into four distinct stages. That is brahmacharya, period of celibacy, education and disciplined life in Guru's ashram; grihastha, a period of family life; vanaprastha, a stage of gradual detachment; and sannyasa, a life dedicated to spiritual pursuit away from worldly life. However, it should be noted that these stages were not applicable to women or to the people of lower varnas. Purda and sati was not prevalent. The Rig Vedic gods Indra and Agni lost relevance in later Vedic period, and the place was taken by a new trinity of gods where Brahma enjoyed the supreme position, while Vishnu became the preserver and Shiva completed the trinity. The religion became extremely ritualistic. Socio-economic life in the later Vedic period. Growth of urbanization, craft production, and trade resulted in the rise of guilds or shreni, which in later times became castes. The behavior of guild members was controlled through a guild court. Customarily, the guild shreni dharma had the power of law. These guilds could act as bankers, financiers and trustees as well. Generally, these functions were carried out by a different category of merchants known as the Shrestins, present-day Seths of North India, and the Chetasand Chetiyars of South India. Thus, the period between 500 BC and 500 AD saw the crystallization of the caste system. The number of castes increased manifold because of the growth of a number of crafts, arrival of new elements in the population, intercaste marriages, annuloma and Pratiloma, and inclusion of many tribes into caste hierarchy. Vedas. Rig Veda. It consists of 10 mandals and 1028 suktas. It is a collection of prayers offered to Indra, Agni, Mitra and Varuna. The third mandala consists of Gayatri mantra dedicated to the sun god. Gayatri mantra was composed by Vishwamitra. It mentions female goddesses such as Usha, Aditi, Surya. Goddess Lakshmi is also mentioned. Lord Shiva is referred as Rudra. Rigveda does not mention Lord Brahma. Samaveda. It is an extension to Rig Veda with 75 new suktas. It is considered to be the oldest text on Indian music. It mostly contains hymns dedicated to sun god. It talks about the appearance and disappearance of Saraswati River. Yajurveda. It contains yagya, rituals-related suktas. Rice is mentioned as vrihi in this text. It talks about shunya. Atharvaveda. It consists of charms and spells to ward off diseases. It is also known as Brahmaveda. Its associated priest, that is Brahma, is considered highest of all. 4 Vedic priests. It mentions the Vedic assemblies of Sabha and Samiti. Important facts. Aitreya Brahmana talks about the duties of all 4 Varnas. Mundaka Upanishad mentions the phrase Satyameva Jayate. Shatapatha Brahmana talks about ploughing rituals and the concept of rebirth. Chandogya Upanishad mentions 3 ashramas of Varna Ashrama Dharma. It also talks about Itihasa Purana tradition, which is mentioned as Panchamveda. Shukla Yajurveda talks about the Rajasuya Yagya.